You can build through the draft, whatever, but it's like these next 2 years this is the inflection point of like, are you going to stay mid? Are you going to be a mid team, or are you going to commit to being fucking a wagon, which we all want?
So we'll see what happens. Obviously, Cadri's name continues to come up. It's gaining traction. It's gaining steam. Elliot Friedman reporting on Cadri. I've heard Calgary's told other teams they're willing to go to the Brock Nelson kind of deal, which is a first-round pick and a prospect.
Fuck yeah.
Or they're willing to do more what's called like a hockey deal, get a young player, young established player. Either one of those I'd be great with.
I will take anything, bro. I will take a new overpass over 17th Ave or whatever.
Hell, I'll take a fucking panhandling trombone player.
I'll take the old guy. I'll take the panhandling saxophone creep from 20 years ago for Nazem Kadri at this point. It's like anything you get is awesome. It's awesome, dude. So the fact we're even here is great. But what does he have? A 13? Is it a 13 no trade list? So the options seem to be pretty much wide open for the Flames. Well, and with you know what, maybe with the Panarin thing, I think that's maybe good because that really needed to get sorted because that seemed to be a really pressing thing. And okay, now it's like, okay, Calgary is the number one seller. What do you got? Let us hear your best offer.
The Wind column tweeted out that Nazem Kadri notes from the Elliot Friedman on 32 Thoughts. Elliot reporting that talks have picked up again. Utah has called about Kadri. Utah is kind of an interesting team, eh? They could look at the Nelson deal or a hockey deal that involves young player with control.
You forget that Utah even exists for the most part. It's like, oh yeah, they're a team. I've totally forgot they exist. I don't know. It feels
playoff spot all season long.
It feels like Montreal is like a really good spot for Nazem to go. So
yeah, or the Carolina Hurricanes would be a great destination. Florida again has been reported.
Florida, absolutely.
Wind column posting that it's been reported the Flames Nazem Kadri has asked to be moved to a contender this season.
It's all coming together, bro. You know, I'm trying not to get too excited because, you know, as soon as you start getting excited, that's when you get hurt. And again, I don't want to be the fell for it again guy award and being like, oh, Flames are going to do Flames things. But, you know, with the month and the season that Ethan Wyttenbach has been having, turning heads all over the place. The kid, I don't know if he does currently, but he was leading the entire NCAA in scoring. He's a freshman. He's a freshman. 5th round pick, leading the NCAA in scoring.
Crazy.
You know, with how Green's looked, he's a player. With how Zane, you know, we know about Zane. And then, you know, some of these other prospects will be pretty good. It's like, hey, now we're going to add probably a top 5 pick this year. And we have another first from Vegas this year. And we have multiple firsts next year. And if you're extrapolating, probably going to be a top 5 pick again. It's like, holy fuck. Like, dude, Craig might actually be cooking up the most elite. And I don't want to go there yet. Because you know what? We're only 2 months removed from the rebiggle gate, you know? But it's like, if we get through this and the Flames really, it's like they're so close to building it like, you know, like building a fucking wagon. Like it's so close. It's just like, hey, the next couple of years, if you just do exactly what you need to do, like this could actually be a fucking elite rebuild.
Well, dude, if you can get 2 top 3, top 5 picks in the next 2 seasons on top of all this,
bro. Because it's like you look at what Anaheim did, right? And they kind of started their little tank. You know, they picked Zegras at 9. Okay, they had a few other players, and they got Jackson Lacombe in the 2nd round that year. And then they picked Drysdale 6 overall the next year. They've turned that into Cutter Gauthier. But then after that, it was like, hey, that's pretty good. But then they got McTavish at 3. They got Carlson at 2. They got Seneca at 3. And, you know, they've drafted well around those guys too. McQueen recently. But it's like, you could be, that's kind of the model that I've been looking at a team like Anaheim and being like, I want us to be them. I don't want us to be the LA Kings. Where it's like they didn't really complete the elite rebuild. The Ducks did. I think the Sharks did, obviously. So it's like, fuck, dude. I'm getting kind of fucking pumped up right now. I'm getting fucking pumped up right now.
Well, you
So
see
if they
Green doing what he did last night, you got Perek back in the lineup. Brizgallo's been, Bristevich has had lots of
dude,
playing
and
time. He's starting around, shipping to form. You got Devin Cooley doing, he's doing Dustin Wolf.
You think about
Starting to take shape.
what that Lindholm trade did, and you look at it now, and it's like, hey, and we're still looking at a good return for Kadri, a good return for Coleman, maybe for Uyghur. Like, that's one trade that got
You
us.
even mentioned Reshny and all this?
I didn't even mention Reshny. Like, I didn't even mention the Markstrom. I didn't even mention that guy. You know, and throughout the season, it's been cool to watch some of the NCAA guys. I know Cullen Potter got hurt, but like Reshny's been top 5 in freshman scoring. Obviously, Wyttenbach's been unbelievable. Cullen Potter was doing what he did until he got hurt. So it's just been like, man, like this really could start coming together in an absolutely brilliant way if the Flame, like, and now they're doing the right things. They're going to trade Cadri. Whoa, they're going to trade Coleman and get a return. It's just like, fuck,
it's
man.
amazing what all the bitching actually,
right?
Does over time.
The bitching works. The message is keep bitching until you get what you want. But dude, this really could start taking shape. You know, and again, like I don't want to get too because Don Maloney's still involved. All it takes is like one heater. All it takes is one heater at the beginning of next year for everything to be abandoned. But it's just like, man, Connie, we could come out the other side of this and be like, holy shit, Craig Conroy absolutely cooked. He's absolutely what this franchise has always needed, and he did the job that nobody else could. So,
well, it helps that the drafting has been so on point in the last 2-3 seasons. Scouting and drafting, right? Western Hockey Scout tweeting out, I'm not sure I've ever seen a team have a top 5 prospect pool before the rebuild bottomed out. This is exactly what you're alluding to. If Connor nails the next 2 drafts, Flames could come up relatively fast. Potter had 15 points in the last 10 games played. They would have to add. They could add a top. They would have top 5, top 6 forwards.
Yeah. Well,
take shape.
I know our friend Nick from Watch the Stats. He published his recent prospect pool rankings, and he had the Flames at the top, and the Flames number one, and we haven't had a top 5 pick, and we had one top 10 pick in Zane Perek. So like, man, and you don't want to like
summary of Nick's summary of this. I'll just read this out. We officially have a new number 1 pool with the Calgary Flames overtaking the Sharks. With Ethan Wyttenbach's explosion and the star prospects in Reshny and Perek, the Flames got the boost needed to pass San Jose. As the Sharks saw a slight regression from players like Cagnoni and Musty, San Jose still has the best under 23 core in the NHL, so don't worry too much, Sharks fans. But yeah, he's got Calgary Flames currently ranked number 1 prospect pool in the league.
Yeah, and you don't want to count.
And like Western Hockey Scout saying, we haven't even officially started rebuilding yet.
Well, again, like this is why it should be like this is what I've been hoping for. It can be like the Anaheim rebuild, where if like they were getting Zegras and Drysdale. I mean, those are good players, but those are more value picks. But then they got their Carlson. Then they got their who's the other guy they got? McTavish. Then they got Seneca, right? It's like those are the things that put them from like, hey, like good draft picks to like right? Because think about that core. If it was just Zegras, you know, they probably kind of screwed around with it a bit too much. But it was just Zegras and it was just Drysdale. It's like, okay, those are 2 okay players and good players, and they turned Drysdale on a Cutter Gauthier, which is a huge thing.
Breaking news coming in through Bet365 or an elevated overtime win is a barn burner where face-off hat-trick power by shot on goal. Every penalty shot and every successful minute in between is amazing. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365, an official partner of the NHL. Download the Bet365 app and use the code NATION to get in on the game. Must be 19 or older. Please play responsibly.
But you could be doing that Anaheim thing, which is freaking great. You don't want to count your what's the expression? Count your eggs before they've hatched. You know, because I do think that kind of happened to LA a few years ago, where I remember there was a lot of talk about their prospect pool. And I was like, holy cow, like LA is building a freaking wagon just through drafting. Like their drafting has been so excellent that they're just, you know, maybe they don't even need to bottom out. They don't need to bottom out. And then they did kind of bottom out and they get Byfield. They got Byfield at 2 overall. But then, right, they didn't have that like Anaheim did, where they had picking in the top 5, top 3, like 2 or 3 times. They went immediately back to picking 8th overall, then no first for 2 years, and then a late first in the last 2 rounds. So it was like, that's why I think it's just, we're so like still harping on like, okay, you can build through the draft, whatever, but it's like these next 2 years this is the inflection point of like, are you going to stay mid? Are you going to be a mid team, or are you going to commit to being fucking a wagon, which we all want? So could be getting there.
Colton Baxter tweeted out that the Flames have the best player in college hockey right now. Wyttenbach was putting up good numbers against non-conference teams, but as soon as he started playing against teams in the ECAC, he's lit it up. He's now up to 41 points, which is first in the NCAA.
Bro,
and Nick,
crazy
again, Nick Yakupov, he called this, right? He was like supremely high on Wyttenbach when we had him on there for the draft breakdown.
Yeah, it's crazy what these numbers can on, because right, I don't think anybody really saw this coming other than a few people, because like, dude, Wyttenbach was playing like AAA like not even that long ago. This has been an insane come up. So like he has been like truly like the next coming of Johnny Gaudreau in terms of what he's doing at the NCAA level. So
Bader posted he models updated. Here's Ethan Wyttenbach compared to Brock Besser, nearly identical production growth from division year to D1, D+1. Brock Besser 2.0 in the 5th round would be nice. But yeah,
sure would be,
he's
dude.
Progressing on the same trajectory as Brock Besser did.
Yeah. Can you, and again, that's all it really like, right? Like you saw what a difference, and not that he's going to be Johnny Gaudreau. I don't want to get my carried away here, but you saw what one surprise pick can do for a franchise. Just like one guy being a diamond in the rough, a gem. That's what it can do for your franchise if you can draft that well. So yeah,
you're right.
He's been awesome.
Starting to get exciting.
Yeah,
especially because they're going in the right direction currently.
Totally. And again,
this would all kind of mean nothing, right?
Totally.
If they're like, no, we're still trying to, we're keeping Cadri, we're keeping Anderson.
Yeah, if they hadn't traded Anderson and the talk was, they still think Kadri's part of this. Like if it was talk like that, and you were concerned, and maybe it'll change between now and the beginning of next year, but this is just all the fans have really been asking for. Like, I don't think we've been asking for too much other than, just please commit to doing this the right way. And, as soon as they even kind of start to do that, it's like, I'm on board. I'm right. I'm like, holy fuck, Ethan Wyttenbach's next Johnny Gaudreau, as far as I'm concerned, and the Flames are going to be a wagon. It's just like, all it took is like a one trade and we might trade Cadri. And I'm like, back on board, like ride or die. I'm back on board. It doesn't take fucking much, does it?
We still have a handful of valuable assets that we can turn into more picks. NHL Trade Alerts posting, Cervelli says pretty much everything around this trade deadline outside of Panarin and the Rangers runs through Calgary. Says there's interest in all of Cadri, Coleman, Weegar, Frost, and Farabee.
Ooh. Yeah, dude, they should be dangling Farabee for sure. Absolutely. Yeah, maybe you want to keep Frost around because he's a guy you targeted and really wanted to bring in the organization. He plays center, but yeah, a guy like Farabee, even anybody on the roster should be out there. But you can do that next year. He's still young enough. But yeah, you look at 2 first rounds this year. Well, there's a condition with Vegas, possibly 4 first round picks in the next 2 years, and you haven't even traded Kadri, Coleman, Weegar, Farabee, Hanley, any of these guys. So it's like we're kind of starting to just build this like freaking treasure trove that is like almost, it's definitely unprecedented in Flames history for sure. But man, like holy fuck, dude, because
Western Hockey Scouts saying we already have a top 5 prospect pool. Nick Yakupov saying we're number 1. And we still have a leg on each side of the fence of what we're rebuilding. Or what we're doing.
We don't know, because I don't know. Maybe I'm remembering wrong, but like when San Jose was going through their thing, it was kind of like they had to get rid of Carl. Like they didn't have these guys who had value. You know, and maybe this is maybe I'm misremembering a little bit, but it was kind of like it was like, oh, we're stuck with these guys. Yeah, we're kind of sitting here going like, people want Coleman, people want Kadri, you know, like weird. I think, yeah, like I guess, you know, they end up getting a decent amount back for Erik Karlsson in that trade. So I'm remembering a bit wrong, but you know, it's like they have Vlasic. It's like it's like they had a bunch of Hubertos. Like you kind of get into these rebuild scenarios because you have so many bad players and so many bad contracts. And you're just like, oh, fuck, how are we going to get rid of this? You know, like, oh, man, this might be tough. But, you know, I guess they traded Hurdle for a first round pick, but they had to give up some picks in that trade too because of his contract situation. The point being is that, you know, if done correctly, it's just if done correctly with no mistakes, this could just be so clean. You know, it's like you're probably stuck with you're probably stuck with Huberto, but it's like, and I mean the Sharangovich contract isn't looking great, but it's kind of like your books can be clean. You can have all these assets. You can capitalize and sell high on almost every single asset that you have, all of whom, you know, relatively probably shouldn't even have that much value. It's just like it's starting to get to the critical mass where, dude, we can start to get we can start to get excited again and stop wringing our hands being like, oh, fuck, are we actually going to do the right thing? So,
yeah, we're about to hit the tipping point, it feels like. Yeah. Bob Stauffer says it's expected Blake Coleman's going to get moved. Yeah, he was asked. Freeman says, yeah, I think so. He's only got a 10-team trade list. I think Cadri's kind of told him one of those teams comes with something they can't say no to, they're going to do it.
Nice. See, I think this is Conroy finally, like, now that the ball's rolling and he's probably still putting up with the resistance, but it's like, hey, we can't stop now, right? That's why
the fan base is so behind Connie too. There's no way he hasn't heard the noise in the fan base of what direction they want him to go.
So it just takes that first push. It's just like what happened with Lindholm. That first one, okay, that snowball effect. So I said I'd be so on board if they traded one of those guys. If they trade both, like, yeah, I'm good. Like, I will stop complaining for sure.
No, you won't. No, you'll find something else.
Well, and then Maloney,
you want perfection and you want us down the cup. I don't blame you.
Is it too much to ask for to have perfection, to have fucking everything? No, we're done. We said this in our New Year's show. We're leaving mid behind. 2026 is the year of the lock-in. Like, the Flames need to lock the fuck in, and we're not going to accept anything other than, you know, total Flames victory, perfection, everything calculated. We're going to be the team like Florida, where it's like, how the fuck did they do that? Holy shit. We want it to be like everyone looking at Bill Zito being like, what a fucking genius. We want to look at Craig Conroy and the Flames and be like, fuck, we are ballers and we're going to win. So that's not too much to ask for. Thank you for reminding me of that.
And worth noting too, this will make your day better too. In that prospects model that Nick Yakubak has us ranked number 1. The Oilers are ranked 30th and the Leafs are ranked 31st. So if we can get through the final 2 years of McDavid's extension, no cups, he ends up leaving, it is going to take them forever to get back into relevancy. And we will be just hitting our fucking the window will be, yes, we'll be defeating these greasers for decades.
And Brad will have left the Leafs just a train wreck. Just like
Brad will be you'll just go to some random fucking Boston Pizza somewhere one day in Toronto, and there's Brad living. He's the hostess. He's the host
tonight. My name's Brad T. I'll be your host tonight. Would you like the microwave chicken Alfredo or the frozen pizza tonight? So, yeah, it's all coming up. Dude.
I've been hearing talk that Connor's listening in on Mackenzie Weegar, but not super eager to trade him. Connor's just listening to everything and everything now. You just fucking love that.
He's like the opposite of Brad. Brad's in on everything. Conroy's listening to everything, right?
Exactly. Dave Peg, no, the Flames are the Flames are a team on a lot of people's radars. There's a lot of smoke around Blake Coleman.
Yeah, as there should be, because he's been awesome.
I think, yeah, dude. If you can, obviously you got to get your return that you want. But if he deals Cadri and Coleman, by the end of this season. Holy fuck, we are so back, baby.
Yeah, dude, we are so back.
Hey, buddies, thanks for watching. We appreciate it. Also, if you could throw in a like and subscribe, it does help us out with what it is we are doing. And check out more at flamesnation.ca.